Hello, once again, everybody. My name is John D. Healy. People know me because I wrote this book, and that's how it all started, about Stoney McGurn. So stories from all his life, from 1941 up to a couple of years ago. Interesting, factual, and informative, and in a lot of sense, history and culture all rolled in one. My podcast is sponsored by Liffey Van Lines, Liffey Moving Company. They've been around longer than Jeopardy, moving and storage, one of the best companies in the city. Now, today, actually, I do not have a guest, but I have lots of questions that came in from my listeners or previous guests, a lot. So I'll go through them as best I can. One came in to do with inflation. I will leave that one till the end, and then I will explain it as best I can. But let me start with some of the ones that have come in. So you remember Sergey, the scientist working in Sloan Kettering Hospital, dealing with cancer research and all that, and he mentioned other cancers during the podcast. Podcast is called It's Good to Talk. So people have asked me questions about tasks Sergey, but I may get him back because it was a little bit over my head. About breast cancer, the going forward, where does he see breast cancer going? Will it always be a case where the women, ladies, have to have their breasts removed, or will it be a situation where the cancer can be diagnosed and treated without that procedure? A similar one came in from another lady to do with her husband, to do with testicular cancer, kind of a similar question as well. So I'll leave those two questions. I'll park those two up for Sergey. Now, you remember when I had Adam Cardona on the show as well, and that was to do with medical massage therapy, and Adam covered a lot of ground dealing with health issues again, the high blood pressure, low blood pressure, why is massage good, why is it not good, and all that. So another lady, Susan Malloy, wrote into me. Her husband is going for a knee replacement, and she said he's very concerned and worried. And I can understand that. Even going to the dentist is stressful and worrying. So I will probably leave that to Adam again, maybe, to come back on that. But I thought he covered everything on that interview. So go back to the old podcasts I did, the one on Sergey and the one on Adam. Also, someone asked me, Adam did sing a song on the last podcast saying he still hasn't found, he's looking for it, sung by Bono. And somebody wants to know, could he sing a song, Fields of Athenry? Well, don't worry, I have other musicians coming up that were on the show, and I'll be speaking to them to see if they can sing the Fields of Athenry. Now, you remember Lillian Kinshore, Wills Trust and Estates attorney, does wills and all that stuff, and power of attorney and so forth. So an email came in for her. Again, I'll have to pass it on to her. It's to do where the uncle of this lady died in Ireland, had a will in Ireland, but she's concerned that he had a lot of assets here in various banks, and how best to source those, if any. That's another question that's kind of over my head, so I'll leave it to the expert, to Lily in Kinshore. Let's see, who else have I got? Janelle was on to do with Seacrest, beauty products and so on and so forth, and a lot of questions came in about those. And thank you, Janelle. I got my products at Christmas, and I must say I find them very good, and happy to have them, and happy that you sent them to me and all that. There is a question for Kyle Olson. He was the guy recycling wooden pallets. He's down in Wisconsin, and he recycles them and he turns them into mulch, which you put on your lawn or your cover your lawn or whatever. So there was a lot of questions there. Again, a little bit over my head. I'll pass those on to then. You remember Angel San Diego? Angel San Diego was a young guy actually, one of the youngest guys I had on, and he was very enthused about HVAC, heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and all that, and seemed to have a lot of knowledge in it, and he was very enthusiastic. Well, believe it or believe it not, Angel, a job offer came in for you from a HVAC company here in New York, LTV Mechanical. They're up and down the city for years, probably one of the top companies in New York dealing with heating, ventilation, and all that, both residential and commercial. I met with the principal of the company, Pat Burke, and he wants to offer Angel a very high position paying job. In the words of Pat Burke, he said an offer that he will not be able to refuse. So Angel, you need to talk to Mr. Burke on that one. Let me see who else I have or who I didn't leave out. I'm trying to think because there's so many came in. Oh, so the singing guys, Tony Daniels and Gary Troy. There was a lot of questions that came in, so I may have to get you back because they were dealing with more the music thing and the acting thing. And around the same time, I had Ernie Savage on. Those of you that remember Ernie, he is the guy that writes the jingles for like short little jingles pre the weather news or the weather show or whatever, that like short little 20-second thing and all of that. But he did go into more music, and he has written a lot more music of late and more songs. You can probably Google him, ErnieSavage.com, I'm sure, and you'll track him down. So let's see who else we got. Diane Harper was the lady that was on with the wine that has no alcohol in it. And again, it was more questions on health and health aspects. So I may have to get Diane back again just to explain some of those in that field, okay? On that note, I'll take a sip of wine. Now, who else? Let me see who else. James Dennison is in Sligo County, Ireland. And when I had him on a number of months back now, he was describing various stories stories in terms of plays and stuff like that he had written, and a lot of stuff he has produced as well. It probably can be got on YouTube. Some kind of weird, scary ones about spirits and ghosts and all that, and we're all very real and true and all that. So I may have to get James back again to go into more in depth on that. James is the guy that did the graphic design for Stoney's book. Oh, let me see who's left. I think that's the bulk of. Oh yeah, one more question. Somebody emailed in. John Malone is a singer-songwriter, and Ed Malone is a professional actor and a professional clown. He went to Clown University in Paris a number of years ago to study to be a clown. I know, you think anybody could do that. Anyways, the question was, is John Malone and Ed Malone related? Well, I don't think so. I think they each have one father. I hope each have one mother. But they're doing well. I know Ed is doing well. Look up him too when you Google him, Ed Malone, professional clown. He has a clown school here in New York, actually. So if you know any people that aren't funny enough and they might want to go to clown school, check out Ed Malone. And for a night to unwind with John Malone, singer, songwriter, John can definitely sing The Fields of Athenry. Now, getting back to the original question from JP and Aisling. JP and Aisling are actually friends of mine, and they didn't have to email me this, but it's good. So JP is a forward thinker himself, but he did have this question about inflation, and it's in the news every day, and it's kind of an annoying word that's almost like that people don't understand what the hell it is. So lucky me, once upon a time, I studied economics, and I don't think that the inflation calculation has changed since. So here you go. Here, I'll give it a shot anyways. JP and Ash, thank you for the question, and here I'm going to try and describe it. So the CPI. Now, what is CPI? Consumer Price Index. Now, that's where and how the inflation figure is calculated. So let's give it a scenario. It's like basically a basket of goods and what they cost last year and what they cost this year, and then the difference in price. Okay, so let's take a hypothetical family. Let's say Mr. and Mrs. Brown, and let's send them off to the supermarket. And they go to the supermarket, they pick up the shopping trolley, and in they go to do their weekly shopping. Okay. What are the Brown family going to buy? Well, they want the basics. They want milk, they want orange juice, they want bread, they want toilet paper, they want breakfast cereal, just like you and me. The basics. Okay, Mr. Brown might treat himself to a 6-pack again. That's allowed. Down to the meat counter, they'll pick up some stuff there, some cleaning supplies, and they load up the shopping cart, and it's starting to get full now, okay? Fruit and veg, and I think we're almost ready to roll them out the door, okay? But for the purpose of this scenario, oh, not yet, not so quick, John. They have 2 kids. Leroy is a 2-year-old boy. Leroy is not a bad boy, but Leroy has to be, spoiled a little bit and all that. So they have to pick up some things for Leroy. They have a new infant baby. So let's add in diapers, baby food. What else do you give babies? All I know is babies are expensive. Okay, now the shopping cart is really full, okay? Let's get this shopping cart up to the cash register and hit the buttons. So we'll have to go to the cash register in 2021, we'll say, for the purpose of explaining this. JP, I hope you're still with me here, okay? You don't need to make notes, JP. I can explain it again. So they cash out, and it comes out to $70, okay? Not bad. Was a sale on. So they paid the $70, roll out, load everything into their car, get them out of the car. It was a Toyota. Now they have to go and gas up. So now they've spent already $70. And now they go to the gas station and they stick the nozzles in the tank and fill her up, and they get filled up for $30. Okay, not too bad, not too bad. So their total spend is $100. Okay, right. That was 2021. So let's come back now to 2022. And let's send Mr. and Mrs. Brown. Leroy was with them, okay? Because now he's a bigger boy. Maybe, that could be an expense. Anyways, they load up the same shopping cart, same amount of goods, same everything, and they go to the checkout. And this time, let's say it's $80, okay? Just $10 more, not too bad. Sale on again, okay? And now they go out to gas up, okay? This time when they gas up, it's $40, okay? So that's $120, okay? So you can see how the inflation is calculated. The difference between last year, which they paid $100, now they paid $120, is $20. So that increase is used to calculate the inflation. Now, let's say, retrospect, that some items in the shopping cart came down in price. So they came down a lot, say the diapers, whatever, some of the cleaning supplies, fruit and veg and so forth came down a lot again. And let's say the gas didn't go too crazy. I think the price of gas in 2008 is similar to what it is today. So let's give it a break here and say it came back down to $100 again. That means zero inflation. All right, JP, I hope that kind of explains it to you, but that's the way I was taught it in high school, actually, inflation. Good education system in Ireland. And unless JP had some wild idea where he just wants to get rid of the word inflation because it's more used like a political football back and forth without the commentators and the journalists really knowing what it really, really is. And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not. But if JP did say, let's get rid of it, Eastern Standard Time, who the hell cares whether the hour goes forward in the spring or goes back in the fall? Inflation is one item can upset the inflation figure, and then it's talked about like gossip in a village. So I'm going to leave you with that and give you some heads up. My name is John D. Healy. Podcast is called It's Good to Talk. The book is, and that's how it all started. The book will be coming on audio very, very soon. If you would like to have more questions for my guests, please send them in. If you would like to be a guest on this show, please let me know. I do have some more podcasts coming up. I'll keep you in tune with that. For now,